Okay, so I've just finished assembling the chair and I just wanted to go through everything. So first I'll talk about the actual assembly, then I'll talk about the chair itself and just overall functionality. So again, this chair had a couple things that I've never actually seen with an office chair, so we'll be getting to those. But in terms of assembly, for whatever reason, and I don't know if it's because I just didn't find it or maybe I don't know where it is, but I could not find an instruction manual that came with this. So I want to be upfront about that. But I will say that this actually really didn't need one, and that was because most of the bolts were actually already in place. So the first thing that I did is basically put all the wheels on. You've got your caster wheels. Those went in really easily. In fact, a little bit easier than some other office chairs that I've done in the past. You basically flip the seat upside down, and then you've got this piece down here, which is where you can make your adjustments. And all of the bolts were already in this entire seat. So all I had to do is unscrew them and then basically bolt everything in. It has a marker on the entire piece here that just says that goes to the front, so it's pretty self-explanatory. You do the arms, and then from there you basically just attach the back seat, and then you attach all these plastic pieces which have their own separate screws. So that was pretty much it. It didn't take me very long at all to assemble. So I would say assembly-wise, this is probably one of the easier chairs that I've done. I was able to figure it out really with minimal instruction, and yeah, overall didn't take long at all to put together, very straightforward. Now in terms of the chair itself, probably I'll talk about some of the pros and then maybe some of the cons. So the pros would be this has an extremely wide seat, so if you're someone that's maybe a little bit bigger, I think this will be very accommodating for you. Both the back and the actual seat itself are very large. In fact, this is probably the largest office chair that I've owned. In terms of the actual armrest, you have a few functionalities here. You can actually hit this, and I believe this will just raise up or down. It doesn't look like these actually have any other adjustments. I do have some other office chairs where you can like rotate the armrest in and out, but that's really not a deal breaker for me. I would say it's something that's really more of a preference. In terms of some other things, you've got your fairly standard adjustable office chair, and it actually is labeled as well. Let me see if I can go down here. So this is actually all labeled. You can move this in and out, so you can do lift up or down. You can move this so the seat goes in and out, and that's about it in terms of like seat adjustability. So fairly standard. You've also got two pillows that it comes with. One is a lumbar pillow, and it's got the branding on it, and then you've got this headrest pillow. One cool thing about this, and for some of you guys, you may not want to be like advertising the company that you bought the chair from, and that's obviously a choice with this chair, which I think is kind of nice as an extra little thing. If you didn't want to be showing off like YITAHOME all over it, you could actually take this pillow off and take the lumbar away, and then there's no other branding on the chair, and it's just a red and black chair. So that's kind of a nice little thing I figure is an option for some of you if you don't want to have all the branding on it. In terms of anything else, let's see, it has these plastic pieces that go on each side. There's basically two. You've got a bolt here, and all the other bolts for the chair itself were included. And then you've also got this pull-out. This actually has two bars that are just resting inside of plastic pieces on the left and the right side of the chair. They were already installed, and this basically came as a separate piece, if you remember. And pretty much, if you put this in the right way, you can flip this back out, and now this will come out. If you pull too far, it'll actually come all the way out of the chair, so you want to be careful not to do that, but it's a little bit tough to do that, so it's not going to be a big issue. And once you do that and you're sitting in the chair, you can actually use this as a leg rest. So I could like rest my feet here. If I were to recline, I could kind of go back, but it's not going to be like a full recliner like you might see, you know, in a Bob's or something like that, are really nice. I mean, this is about the extent of what you're going to get. But if you were like folding your legs or just doing other things, this will actually work pretty well for that. And then it conveniently folds and then goes right under the chair, and it's pretty easy to use. Now, another cool thing that this came with is the lumbar itself actually has a wire, and on this there is a three-way switch, and for whatever reason it looks like it's basically got an on, an off, and then there's another on. So it doesn't seem like there's any difference in the functionality. And of course Merlin's over here having fun with all of the stuff that came out of the boxes. But basically it's got a fairly decent sized USB cord. You can plug in, you can see I've got a, this is like a home theater PC here plugged in. So not super long range, but if you had a computer that's like, you know, you're sitting here at your desk and the stack was like on the floor nearby, this would probably work just fine. I know in my circumstance, I actually have, and I didn't bring this up to my office, my stack is actually quite far away from my desk, and even if I use the front USB ports on it, this probably would not reach. Now, Of course, you could get a USB extender if you really want to use this, but I'd say that the functionality of this is fairly minimal. Thing isn't going to give you a massage. There's nothing that moves in here. There's no balls or massage craziness going on. It basically just vibrates, and that's it. Very, very standard. I'll even turn it on. It's a little demo. So, and again, another thing that I wasn't a huge fan of on this is that this is not supported in any way. So if you like get up, it'll just fall over. But again, easy enough and big enough that if you're sitting with it and it's actually on your back, it's not going to go anywhere. And the other thing is, if you wanted, you could actually move it up in the seat so you could hit like a higher point in your back. In terms of support and just overall comfort in this chair, using the lumbar, you know, if I sit in this, I feel like it's very much supporting my legs. Like I really have so much leg room, I can move back and forth. And then it is doing a pretty good job of supporting my back as I sit back. And right now I have it kind of reclined because I was testing out the recliner, but it's got plenty of adjustability in the back. You actually have a lever that's over here on the side, and you can actually adjust the seat up and down. So that's pretty much it for this chair. I'd say for the cost, this is a good value. Again, some of the nice little extra perks give it some extra value there, and overall fairly comfortable chair. I'd say I'd give it like a solid like 4.5 out of 5. Nothing really negative about this. If you have cats, keep in mind, because they probably will scratch chairs like this like crazy. So that is something to keep in mind if you're thinking about a chair like this and you have pets. We have another one upstairs, and that one has gotten scratched up pretty good if you're not paying attention. So another thing to keep in mind with these. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll talk to you later.